Okay, so now we're at the best part of the show. The best part of the show is where we get to talk to our guest so he can give an insight on what he does with his life and how he is helping the community with whatever it is that he has to offer.
So they caught you on 131st.
So what all realms are you involved in as far as like what you do as far as business?
From a business perspective, Little Giants is started about almost 10 years ago.
Okay.
We was the first and only 501c3 nonprofit targeting children. Our original mission was to combat childhood obesity.
Okay.
So we started in multiple school districts, providing different physical fitness training and programs for them, and then eventually it birthed into our own location.
Okay.
From there, we started providing personal training, strength and conditioning, and then boxing.
Okay.
We're continually to add more components.
Okay. So childhood obesity?
Yeah, that was the initial mission. It still is, but we have more components involved.
Okay. So like a social component.
Yeah, exactly.
So with the strength training and boxing, do you have background in strength training, boxing, training, all that stuff?
Yeah, so I come from a family of boxers.
Okay.
So I love the sport. I never boxed per se, but I did some training when I was a kid. But I grew up just loving the sport, and a lot of my brother, my nephews, my whole family boxed. So I never went to that avenue to actually compete or anything, but from a training side, I know the sport. So I was able to fuse my experience in being, sports driven and working out with the sport of boxing. So the things that I bring to the table, my training is very unique, So I don't do your typical day-to-day workouts. So I try to, everything I do can be, can transcend right into the boxing.
Okay.
Yeah. So what was the first inkling that you got, the first idea that you got, I want to work with children? I want to make sure, is it something that happened? Was it something that, you got a child and
Well, I've always, wanted to work with children. Initially, going through college and everything, I wanted to be a teacher, but let's be realistic. At that time, they didn't pay much. So I went a different route. So I was trying to figure out how can I, work with children in a way that I'm passionate about. And so about 10, 12 years ago, I had a little cousin in my family, and he was 12 years old, 305 pounds. And so he was scrutinized, you name it, all types of bullying. But no one was doing anything about it. So I started taking him to the gym with me, and 2 weeks later, he lost 25 pounds.
Wow, that's amazing.
So
that's amazing.
I started looking into it, and I'm like, I wonder how many other children are going through this. And the more research I started doing, I found out that childhood obesity
it's true.
Exactly. So, you go to recreation centers, there's no structured program that's tailored for children like that. You go to fitness centers, they have an age limit. You put them in youth football, for example, there's weight limits, So a lot of children in that type of demographics was kind of like, shunned. So I just wanted to create a lane for them to have a space where it's judge-free, where they can come and get the services they need. So.
Now, I know you're about to ask a question, but real quick, like I was a beach child. Like when I was in the 9th grade, I was like 360 pounds.
Yeah.
And it was crazy because think about it, back then, like in the 90s, that it was crazy. But by the end of 10th grade, I was 165, 175. You know how hard that was to do? You much picked on, you had to get picked. Yeah, people you become popular because of that. Because no one was able to do it back then. It's great that you have something like this now, so those kids don't have to go. I guess I have to walk so they can run. And now you can run the
Right.
But go ahead, you go ahead.
Yeah, so with your job dealing with kids, you become not somewhat, but you do become a mentor.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So how do you balance becoming a mentor and your personal life and directing these kids in the right direction? Because dealing with kids nowadays is, not just nowadays, any day is hard because I know when I was growing up, we looked at kids as like, well, you can't really say nothing. I'm a dog, I'm grown. But these kids actually be going through real problems.
Real stuff.
So how do you deal with that?
Well, you know what? Honestly, I grew up without a father. And I grew up, on Superior, St. Clair, where a lot of men in that area stepped up and filled that void.
Yeah.
These are men from different backgrounds.
Yeah.
Some sold dope, some was business owners, some, you know what I'm saying? But they stepped in to fill that void.
Yeah.
So for me, it came naturally to when I working with the kids, I'm becoming a man that stepped up to help me. So, I have no problem being a mentor, uncle, or a father, or anything, because I see a lot of myself in a lot of these kids. So, but it's gratifying for me because, you can see change in a kid much quicker than you can an adult.
Yeah.
And that's, you have more. You have more of ability to influence change in kids.
Yeah, so it's like a full circle moment.
Absolutely.
You dealt with it. You have people look out for you. Now you're doing it with kids, and I always look at it like you're gonna reach. Now you're not gonna reach every kid. You're gonna reach some kids, but as long as you know you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, that's good enough.
Yeah. When it comes from a genuine place.
Yeah.
When there's not any motivation to do it for money or anything like that.
Exactly.
It's like breathing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like you walking in a room and seeing your nephew or your son, that needs help. You're not going to think twice about it.
Exactly. Exactly.
How do y'all get children for the program like that? It's like marketing.
Yeah. So like I said, we've been, in business for almost 10 years. So I planted a lot of seeds over the years. I visited multiple school districts. Did a lot of collaborations with daycare centers, with different, urgent care facilities, things of that nature. So you just build relationships over the years, and once your name becomes solidified, you continue to market what we do. And again, like we was talking earlier, you got to stay consistent.
Yeah, exactly.
And your messaging. And that's pretty much how we get our members.
So what has been some of your ups and downs with what you do? Because nothing's perfect.
Right.
You always had your good times and your bad times. And how do you deal with those bad times?
Wow, that's a really good question. I would have to say, staying true to your vision when other people really don't see what you're seeing.
Yeah.
Over the years, I have so many trainers come in and out, and you will lose yourself trying to appease everyone.
Yeah.
But trying to find the right people that really believe in the vision and understand what our mission is and the true purpose is.
Yeah.
That was really tough. That was really tough. But I'm grateful. I have a really, really good team right now. And we all moving on the same accord. We all have the same. They see the vision. They see where it can go. And
So, talk about positive learning experiences that you had, as far as like working with kids. Because sometimes they can teach you some things.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah. Ooh, my son teach me a lot.
Man, I think some of the things I've learned was just you got to live in the moment. My day job, I really can't speak on what I do, but I literally travel the world.
Okay.
And so sometimes the things that I see, I can become jaded. So when I come back to Cleveland, I'm in the gym with these kids, and the way they greet me and they're happy to see me, it allows me to live in that moment. And really appreciate, what's in front of me, the lives that we're affecting every single day.
So you were speaking on your team. So how do you go about assembling your team? Like how do you pick trainers or get trainers that help you with your vision?
Well, I think it's important to, like I said, stick to your vision. And nothing is perfect, but you constantly have to reevaluate, your team and reevaluate your business structure and identify holes. And you got to put the right people in the right positions that will allow you to help continue to build them, but they're at immediate value to the organization.
Now let me ask you about that. Say you have to move pieces around. Are people receptive to that, or is it some type of kickback, or
I think
pushback?
you know, I try to be completely transparent from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, being completely open and honest and transparent, you know, when you have to have those hard conversations, you know, they're very receptive because you know, they know where it's coming from. You know, you're not trying to come out of left field with some BS, you know what I'm saying? So, like, they know where it's coming from. It's not like, and they understand that it's for the betterment of the business.
The program.
You know?
So, what you do for fun, man, outside of, you know what I'm saying? What type of music you listen to? What,
Man, music.
Movies?
I love music, man. I love, I'm an 80s, 90s type R&B guy.
It's cool.
Oh, yeah.
It's cool.
I love, you know, real music. I love, you know, some of these new rappers, they're all right. Like that Earth Gang, they pretty good. Like JID, you for them?
No, I probably got them on my phone. I probably don't know who they are.
He don't know.
But yeah, I love music. I love 80s, 90s R&B, hip hop. I spend a lot of time with my daughter. You know, she's a senior in college, so you know, so any chance I get, I'm with her. You know.
You went to HBCU, right?
No, I didn't.
You went to
Toledo undergrad and then grad school.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't do too much. Work out on my own sometimes. You know, I'm not training with the kids. I work out on my own. Listen to music, hang out with my daughter.
What kind of areas where do you like meet these kids? Like, what kind of areas? Is it like an urban area, suburban area, or just all around?
You know what? So our facility, we're right on 185th Street.
Okay.
We sit like literally on the property line of Euclid and Cleveland.
Okay.
So I mean, our reach has expanded all the way as far east as Ashtabula and Painesville to Geauga, Chardon, all the way over to Lorraine. You know, so you know, word travels. You know, so we service a lot of kids from different areas, but the vast majority of them are, you know, come from areas that are, you know, high poverty, high crime.
What type of inspirations do you try to leave these kids with, as far as like for them to take on, to become adults? What type of inspiration? Like, what do you want them to feel?
Well,
as far as what they're doing now.
I think a lot of things. One thing that's missing with our children today is just teaching them basic etiquette, accountability. You know, so we try to teach them responsibility and accountability for your actions. You know, and we do that not just by talking to them, but living it day to day, so they can see how we live our lives. You know, so not just myself, my whole team. You know.
So I'm gonna ask you a question that I guess every podcast asks. I got to ask this, and I was kind of stumped too. When everything is said and done, what do you want your legacy to be? I know that's a rough question.
Yeah. You know, I just want people, when they hear my name, just say that was a good dude. Real simple, man. And to me, that's all inclusive. You know, I want my family to be proud of me. You know, I want strangers to be proud of me. And I'm hoping that I could live a life and leave a legacy that somebody can pick up and take it to the next step, you know.
Okay.
I got a question. I mean, this is personally how you feel, because this is how I look at it. Do you see a spiritual connection between health and fitness? Do you see like a spiritual connection? Because, you know, in the Bible, you know, if you read the Bible talks about, the Bible speaks, I don't know the exact verbiage that's used, but
taking care of your temple.
Yeah, taking care of your temple. Do you see a spiritual connection? Like, do you feel something spiritual after, you know, you have these kids?
Absolutely, without a doubt. You know, I'm not the most religious person, but I am spiritual, and I think everything that we do on a day-to-day, I mean, to me, it's already written, it's preordained, and when certain children come in my life, I know it's for a reason. You know, I know it's for a reason, and you know, when you taking care of your body allows you to be vulnerable. You know, it allows that kid to be vulnerable, and now you're speaking and communicating with one another from an open place, from an honest place. You know, and when you have that openness, you know, real, genuine love, so to speak,
exactly.
comes out. You know.
Yeah. So you spoke of your team. Before we go, is there anybody you want to shout out? You want to speak on your talk about your team and who helped you out?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I have a great team behind me. My buddy Donald Holbrook, he's been there, since day one. When I first, the Little Giants was an idea. We was knocking on doors downtown and going to these different meetings. And he was an integral part of that process.
Yeah.
Coach D, Coach Spider, Coach K, my boy Coach Kurt Blue. He just moved to California, but he's still involved, man. He still reached back. That's my guy. Coach Yaz, Coach J, Coach Floyd. And my good friend, my little sister. Her name is Antoinette. She does a lot for us behind the scenes. She does all of our marketing. She manages all of our social media platforms and everything. So I can't do anything without them.
Yeah. I would like to say, and I could probably speak for Terrence as well. We'd like to commend you for the service that you're providing for the community, everything that you're doing, because a lot of people just talk about it, they complain about the kids, and they won't actually get out there and do it. But you got boots on the ground, you're actually doing it, you're actually helping these kids out, and you're actually being a good role model and mentor for these kids. And I commend you.
I appreciate it, man. That means a lot, man. So, I appreciate y'all for putting me on here.
It's long overdue. You were supposed to be on here a long time ago. We talked about this when I first started the podcast.
But you hear it now.
Right.
You hear it now.
So it's good to have you here, man. It's good. You always like inspire me when you know what I'm saying since I met you, and then we came to realize that we know a lot of people in common. You know what I'm saying?
And this is my first day meeting you. You an inspiration to me, man.
What did I tell you? I said you gonna like it.
I typically like 99% of the people.
No, you don't though. You don't.
99.
We're not. I'm not gonna say that you don't hate a lot of people, but I know how to introduce. Like if it's like a comfortable person, like I'm like, yeah, you gonna like him. I'll be like, man, I ain't say you ain't gonna like him. You know what I'm saying? But he a character. You know what I'm saying? Like he a character, or like, but I could tell. You've been knowing people for a while. You can tell pretty much who you're gonna be like. Okay, that person cool.
I can tell you a good dude, man. Especially you helping kids. Anybody help kids, man. Good
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate that, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you. We're gonna move on to the next portion of our show, entertainment topics, and we're gonna talk about different things that's going on with people that's too rich for us to really be a part of. To make us not have to look at our life. I don't care. I like the entertainment topics. It wouldn't be a part of the show if I ain't like it. And guess who like entertainment topics? Viewers. Yep. And we got canceled.